staying with us. Now, President William Ruto's economic advisor, Moses Kuria, is tonight urging the president, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to set aside their differences and bring back the flopped BBI process. Reacting to Ruto's unexpected meeting with his former boss, Uhuru, on Monday afternoon at Uhuru's Gatundu home, Kuria further stated that the meeting of the two friends turned foes and now friends again vindicates Raila's handshake with Uhuru in 2018 that led to the BBI Season 1, and now wants all three to close ranks and spearhead a second BBI season, saying it is urgent and cannot wait any longer. NTV's political affairs reporter David Mudhoka has more.
The letters from the mountain are back after Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata and Lands Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome. President William Ruto's economic advisor Moses Kuria is the latest leader from the mountain to pen a letter on the current political situation in the country. Kuria, who refers to himself as Ruto's senior advisor and Ruto's inner circle of economic advisors, choosing not to use one of the frequent one-on-one meetings with President Ruto in cabinet to raise his issues, but instead a 4-paragraphed letter to react to Ruto's meeting with Uhuru in Gatundu on Monday afternoon. In the letter, Kuria has first commended Ruto and Uhuru for meeting and burying the hatchet, stating, and I quote, "Closing ranks and forgiving each other is much easier than having to deal with the aftermath of a failed nation state. In this regard, I wish to thank President Kenyatta and President Ruto for choosing the nation over personal or sectarian considerations." With the meeting coming just months after Ruto, who initially rolled out handshakes, also mended political fences with another political foe, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, Kuria has said, as a region, we have learned our lessons. First, we can no longer depend on handshakes and personal meetings to make us feel safe in our country. The frequent handshakes and artificial formations have vindicated President Kenyatta and Prime Minister Raila Odinga on the BBI initiative. They were right and we were wrong. Kuria has now called upon Raila, Uhuru and Ruto to completely set aside their differences and bring back the failed Building Bridges initiative that contained, among other contentious proposals, the one-man, one-vote, one-shilling formula for revenue sharing, saying, and I quote, "I urge President Ruto, President Kenyatta and Prime Minister Raila to close ranks and lead the nation in picking from where BBI flopped and give this country a constitution that speaks to the emerging realities of our nation and our society. BBI Season 2 is urgent and cannot wait." Kuria further called on the Mount Kenya region to borrow lessons from Ruto's meeting with Uhuru that comes less than 2 months after Ruto kicked his former deputy Rigathi Gachagua out of his government, stating the widespread anger and emotions arising from the impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is understandable and natural. However, reasoning and objectivity rather than anger and emotions should be the guiding factors of how our region handles the current political crisis facing us. In what appears as a dig at Gachagua and other Mount Kenya leaders who are unwilling to work with Ruto anymore, Kuria, who also appears to be taking no prisoners, continues. Many from the region, including President Kenyatta, President Kibaki and myself, worked very hard to extricate our region from the 41-against-1 isolation that was occasioned by the 2007 general elections and the violence that followed. I applaud President Kenyatta for choosing the reasonable line over expediency of momentous populism. In another subtle attack directed towards Gachagua, who was deputy president, styled himself as the Mount Kenya kingpin, Kuria has further urged the region to rally behind Uhuru Kenyatta, saying it was a mistake to leave the Jubilee Party. However, it is not too late. We will now embark on bringing all the political parties with a footing in the region together under the Jubilee Party. We did it in 2016. Jubilee under President Kenyatta as the party leader is the way to go. End of quote. Kuria's statement, part of reactions towards Ruto's meeting with Uhuru on Monday. David Muthoka, NTV, Nairobi.